Imagine two people. Both have jobs, both earn money, both save. But one dies poor and the other builds an empire. Why? Here's the harsh truth. It's not how much you save, it's how you save. We were taught a lie. We were trained to save money like a poor person. Today, I'm going to break that programming. I'm going to show you how to stop hoarding cash and start building genuine, gravitational wealth. Stay tuned.
Rule number 1 of real wealth: you don't save money. You store value. This is where 99% of people get it wrong. So let's visualize it right now. In 1990, $1 could buy you a lot. Today, that same physical paper dollar buys you almost nothing. Saving cash is like freezing an ice cube in a hot room. You're watching it disappear. Poor people save money. Rich people save value. Money is just a medium of exchange. Value is a claim on future productivity. Right now, a poor saver is hoarding cash under a mattress. A wealthy builder is looking at their dashboard. They have icons for real estate, equities, gold, and treasury bills. They don't own cash. They own shares of businesses, pieces of the economy. When you hold cash, you're betting against the economy. When you own assets, you're a part owner of the world's engine. Stop saving currency. Start accumulating assets. That's the first pivot.
Now, some of you are saying, but I'm responsible. I'm saving for a rainy day in my high-yield savings account. Excellent. You've moved from the mattress to the bank, but you're still in the hamster wheel. Here is the economic revelation that changed my life. An emergency fund is a liability, not an asset. Think of the mental peace of having $10,000 in cash. It feels like a fluffy, safe cloud. But on the other side of that balance sheet is a massive ticking clock showing your lost opportunity cost. Don't get me wrong, liquidity is oxygen. I'm not telling you to be broke, but the 6 months of expenses in cash rule is a defensive move. It's a feel-based move. Poor people save for emergencies that might happen. Wealthy people invest in assets that will pay them regardless. Here's the shift. Instead of a rainy day fund that rusts, build a liquidity pipeline. This means owning assets that are stable but accessible. Think of high-quality dividend-paying stocks, or even gold ETFs. A poor saver has a stack of rotting cash. A wealthy person has a line of credit backed by their portfolio. If an emergency hits, they use the bank's money at 5% interest, while their assets are making 8 to 10%. They're not spending their seed corn. They're borrowing food while their cornfield keeps growing. That's the wealthy mindset. Then there's the scarcity budget. The poverty mindset dictates cut costs, skip the latte, live like a monk, and stash the difference. That is exactly how a poor person saves. Let me show you why it's a mathematical failure and a psychological death trap. You can't save your way to wealth because frugality has a mathematical floor. You can only cut costs to zero, but income has no ceiling. A poor person focuses on retaining pennies. A wealthy person focuses on value creation. Let me give you a painful real-life scenario. Imagine a poor farmer with 3 chickens. He agonizes over how to split the corn. He weighs every grain. The chickens survive, but they are scrawny and lay 1 egg a day. Now, imagine a wealthy farmer. He takes his eggs to the market. He doesn't eat them. He sells them. He buys a goose. The goose lays bigger eggs. He sells those and buys a cow. His yard is now full. The poor saver is micromanaging scarcity. The wealth builder understands the velocity of capital. Stop asking, what can I stop buying? That's a poverty question. Start asking, where can I deploy this $100 so that it multiplies? Maybe it's a course to learn a high-income skill. Maybe it's buying the raw materials to start a side hustle on Saturday. Saving money to stagnate is poor. Saving money to deploy is rich. Now, I need to put on my behavioral economist hat. This comes from the authority of Kahneman and Tversky's prospect theory. We save like poor people because we are hardwired to fear loss more than we love gain. The pain of losing $100 feels like a massive, crushing weight. The joy of gaining $100 feels like a tiny feather. Poor saving is defined by pain avoidance. I need to save so I don't starve. This fear creates a liquidity trap. You hoard cash because the world feels dangerous, but in hoarding the cash, you guarantee the outcome you fear. You never get ahead, inflation eats your lunch, and you're perpetually stuck. Here is a deep analogy to remember. Think of a scuba diver 100 feet underwater. He has a full tank of oxygen. That's his savings. Above him is a treasure chest of wealth. Because he's terrified of running out of air, he stays exactly where he is, breathing slowly. He's safe, but he never gets the treasure. A wealth builder swims down with the same tank. They breathe normally, they swim hard to the treasure chest. It's heavy gold. They strap the gold to themselves. The gold has a buoyancy device. It actually starts pulling them up to the surface faster. The poor mindset treats capital like air that can only decrease. The wealthy mindset treats capital like a tool to acquire assets that lift you. Poor saving is defensive breathing. Wealthy saving is strategic diving. The goal isn't to die with a full tank of air. The goal is to surface with the treasure. And now, the final myth. All debt is bad. I must be debt-free. This is the most emotional, unsophisticated form of saving. It's fantastic psychology for a spending addict, but it's suboptimal mathematics for a wealth builder. There are two types of debt in this world: consumptive debt and productive debt. A poor person runs away from all debt, cutting off their nose to spite their face. They'll drain their emergency fund to pay off a 3% car loan to feel peace, losing their liquidity. A wealthy person loves productive leverage. If the government gives you a 4% mortgage and inflation is 3%, you're basically being paid to borrow their money. Imagine trying to move a mountain of dirt. The poor saver uses a spoon, which is their cash. The wealthy builder looks at the mountain. They take out a small loan, a leveraged wheelbarrow. The wheelbarrow carries 100 times more dirt per hour. Even if they lose a bit of dirt to interest leaking through a hole, they move the mountain 50 years faster.
Saving cash to pay off a low-interest mortgage early is one of the worst strategic moves you can make. You are transferring your liquid, fungible power, cash, into an illiquid asset, home equity, that doesn't pay you until you sell. You trapped your own money. Keep your liquidity. If you want to stop saving like a poor person, pay off high-interest credit cards aggressively. But don't kill your liquidity to kill low-interest leverage. That's poor thinking. So, am I telling you not to be a diligent steward of your income? No. I'm telling you to upgrade your savings operating system. Let's summarize the blueprint. Step 1. Aggressively chip. You still need a small cash buffer for immediate months. Define the max. 5,000, 10,000. Whatever your number is, don't let it grow infinitely. Step 2. Convert surplus immediately. Every dollar above your buffer isn't cash. It's a soldier. Deploy it into a tax-advantaged account to buy broad market index funds. You're no longer a saver. You're an owner. Step 3. Invest in infinite returns. The highest ROI isn't the stock market. It's you. Frugality caps your life. Skills uncap your income. Use money to learn how to make more money. Step 4. Use leverage. Don't fear it. Understand the difference between a tool and a trap. Don't save cash just to give it to a bank for a false sense of security. The poor mindset sees money as a fragile egg that needs to be locked in a vault. The wealthy mindset sees money as a seed. Eggs rot. Seeds multiply. Saving for the sake of saving is a slow-acting poison.
Saving for the purpose of deploying, investing, and growing is the engine of dynastic wealth. Stop freezing your money. Plant it. Value is not measured by the thickness of your cash stack, but by the depth of your ownership in the world's economic engine. That is how you stop saving money like a poor person and start building real, lasting wealth.